Ahoy! Welcome aboard the Sea Monkey. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. What item for the challenge should I show? Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. That's right, I have been debating with myself. No, don't take that the wrong way. Debating with myself over what item to show you guys this week. We've got a couple of cool pickups. I've got some really cool pickups. Something a little different, and actually something really cool is what I went ahead and decided to show you guys today. And I will say I overpaid it for it a little bit, but you know, that happens. So this is going to be week 13 of the $15 a week challenge, brought to you by Cheshire Keith, Heads or Tails Living, with participation by myself, Gold Spike Stackers, and a few others which I don't have stickers for yet. So bear with me. Eventually I'll get some stickers from them and have some more stickers of my own to send out in trade. So like I said, I was debating over what I wanted to show you guys today. Should I bore you with some more dimes, or should I show you some mint products, or should I try and come up with a combination of something? And I got to thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? Copper. Everybody seems to be all about copper right now. And I'm not gonna lie, I am too. I've always kind of been interested in the copper. I just had a hard time like justifying the price. Especially when you see copper at $4 a pound on the not the COMEX, but the precious metals spot price listings. $4 a pound for copper, and then you go on eBay and you look up a 1 pound bar and it's $20, and you're like, wait a minute, I thought it was only $4. So that giant premium has kind of dissuaded me from getting too much copper, although I do like copper and I want to get an abundance of it. I did pick up back in the day with one of my initial orders from SD Bullion. I had picked up a couple of random copper rounds. I picked up 3 of them, and if you've watched some of my videos, I toned one of them along with a silver bar. I gave the toned copper to my son, and I gave the toned silver bar away to the community for my 100 subscriber giveaway. So I don't really have a whole lot of copper. I have been saving my pre-82 pennies. So I've got like 3.5 tubes of those, and I do have a small bag of wheat cents. This is actually too much to put in the remaining penny tube, so I went ahead and just bagged up the wheats by themselves. And yeah, so I was looking at copper. I've been looking at copper on eBay, trying to find some good deals. Hopefully trying to find maybe, you know, like a $10 1 pound bar, or maybe find someone who had a $20 bar available with a make offer, and shoot them an offer for like 13 or 15, you know, try and knock some of that premium down. Wasn't really seeing a whole lot. But as I was searching through, I did find something that caught my eye. And it was a couple of rounds. And he only had 2 of them. And in the listing, it said rare, I think. And so when I saw it, I naturally, being the coin guy that I am, jumped on the Google machine, and usually end up at like en.numista. I think it's org or com. And Numista is one of them. A couple other coin sites that have like mintage information and composition and dates and all that, listed information for whatever item it is you're looking for. And sometimes they have a rarity listing, and this one actually came up on their site's population as like a 96. No, it was either a 92 or a 96. Could have even been a 98, but it was in the 90s, which is very rare by their scale. And that doesn't necessarily mean they're rare out in the world. That just means not a whole lot of information on these particular items is on the site. So it's a rare thing on their information database. And so I went back to the site and let's see, I paid $15.63 shipped for 2 ounces, 2 copper rounds. So I mean, you can see the premium and the price I paid without doing the math in my head and sound like an idiot. But it was the design really that caught my eye. I was like, ooh, what is that? And so I looked it up, and it is kind of rare. And it's, it's just a copper round. It says AOCS approved. Copyright MJB 2011. And from what I gather, this was created by some sort of initiative to try and bring metals back into the mainstream of currencies. The AOCS, that's something, it's an acronym I'll go look up real quick. So when you see the video, pause and jump. That's what I did. Has something to do with alternative currencies, I think. So it's an AOCS approved MJB 2011. But it was the gears and the design on this that really caught my eye. And so I was willing to pay, like, what was it, $4.99 or something per round, and then the $4 or some odd shipping to get them both here. I didn't see anything else from the seller that I wanted that I wasn't able to find from another seller cheaper. And this was the only 2 items that I found from that seller that I really, really liked and couldn't live without. So I snagged them up. They were buy it now. And I threw them both in my cart, and I checked out, got them. And they are the one avoirdupois. I know I can say the word if I try. Avoirdupois. 1 avoirdupois ounce of fine copper, 3/9 fine, and it's an MJB Monetary Metals UK production. Now these weren't made by MJB, I don't think. I think they were minted by a UK mint. But yeah, this is what I picked up for this week's $15 a week challenge. Some overpriced copper rounds with incredible design. And that's why I got them. I got them for the art. And the fact that they are somewhat rare. I did scour eBay fairly well and didn't find any more, save for 1 or 2 that people were trying to sell for like 35 and 40 and 50 bucks with like $20 shipping out of like Poland or some other, foreign country. So, I mean, we're talking at that point, you're paying like 60 bucks a round, and I don't even consider that. So, I mean, these are fairly rare, in that they aren't readily available. Now, there might be several million of them minted. I couldn't find a mintage number for them, to be honest. But I didn't find very many for sale either, so availability somewhat dictates and indicates rarity. If you can't find something, it's somewhat rare, even if there's a lot of it out there. If you can't get your hands on it, then it's rare. Kind of like ammunition right now. There's a lot of it out there, but if you can't get a hold of it, then, well, it's pretty elusive and rare. So yeah, I thought these were really, really cool. They came in capsules, and I did spend, like I said, a little too much on them. But they're art, and they're copper, and I love them. I think they're really, really neat. Let's see if we can get a zoom in here. I tried to stabilize the camera a little bit, put it up on a somewhat of a table, shortened the tripod so hopefully it doesn't wobble quite as much. But yeah, look at that incredible design or detail. There's frosting inside the rings and the gears, and then there's mirroring up here. I mean, that's really cool. Now, I looked on, like, I want to say it was Reddit where I ended up. Imagine that. You always end up on Reddit, it seems like, when you're looking for something. But I was looking up MJB monetary metals and the AOCS approved, and that's where I came up with the information about it being some sort of initiative for alternative currencies and precious metals being brought back into the forefront of currency and money. And I was reading through all the forum posts, and then there was a long post by a user with the name Bracket deleted, which I'm assuming that was because the account was deleted. But the post was claiming to be the designer of this coin, and he was talking about how he broke from the initiative and that MJB was still using his designs, and that he was like trying to get royalties for the continued use of his designs or something like that. But kind of an interesting story surrounding these. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's not too far from the guy that was trying to mint his own coins, although that guy was trying to mint face value coins and ended up getting busted for counterfeiting. So that's kind of a significant difference. These guys were just trying to, I guess, bring precious metals back into being money. Primarily gold and silver, but copper as well. Being a base metal, not necessarily a precious metal, but still having value. Okay, so AOCS stands for the American Open Currency Standard, and they're a non-profit organization opposed to fiat money, wishing to expedite the use of metal as money. In accordance with their mission, AOCS grants approval to new currencies, helps new currency issuers establish brand identity, and encourages merchants to accept AOCS-approved currencies, such as this. AOCS was started in 2007 by Robert Gray, who was formerly a regional currency office for Liberty Dollar, and is currently the executive director of AOCS. Now, this is coming off of Wikipedia, so this may or may not be accurate to date. It says Robert Gray testified before the United States House Financial Services Subcommittee on Domestic Monetary Policy and Technology when Congressman Ron Paul was chair of the committee. So that's pretty much all I've got on AOCS and what they are all about. And as far as the design goes and the Reddit post that I was talking about, it's on r/Silverbugs, and it was a question posted asking, does anyone know what happened to MJB Monetary Metals, creators of the copper Bitcoin round? And they were saying that they picked up some rounds from a fellow bug, and they were trying to research them, and they couldn't find any information on them. And there's a handful of posts, and one of them is AOCS is Rob Gray, period. Someone saying he's the one being investigated over massive fraud now. And now these are 7-year-old posts, by the way. So, anyways, I scroll down a handful of posts, and here's the one that says, it's from Deleted, and it says, I'm still around. The reality is I'm discontinuing the bullion site. It began as a hobby site on the back of being a silverbug. Simply put, my pockets are not deep enough to run a bullion site successfully, so I'll stick with collecting it rather than trying to buy and sell it. I enjoyed designing the Bitcoin and Globe and Gears round, which is what this is. This is the Globe and Gears round, which was produced by AOCS, now Mulligan Mint, who I believe are being liquidated as we speak. Now granted, like I said, these are 7-year-old posts on Reddit. Rob Gray agreed to pay a small royalty payment on any rounds they sold, which they paid once. I ordered a few packages from them. One had missing silver, one never showed at all. They continued to use my designs for the reverse of a John Galt round and a silver Bitcoin round they produced also. I contacted them a couple of times about the royalty payments. They told me they were still selling my designs. No response about my design fee. I haven't retired to the Caribbean. Unfortunately, I'll be selling Bitcoins from Bitcoin Fridge from April 6th, new tax year UK. So that's kind of a small, brief history and story behind MJB Monetary Metals and AOCS and Robert Gray, the person who produced this round, or designed it anyways. He designed it, and MJB Mulligan Mint produced it and sold it, and apparently stiffed him out of his royalties, which is unfortunate. So yeah, there's my week 13 pickup. 2 copper Globe and Gears MJB Monetary Metals rounds. And those came out $15.63 shipped, and that's coming out of my $19.16 for the week. I had $4.16 coming into the week. Plus 15 is $19.16 minus $15.63 for the 2 copper rounds. Leaves $3.53 going into next week. And I've got a week to decide what I want to show you. Could be dimes or maybe these mint products here. I got like a proof set and another thing. So we'll see what we decide to do with that. These, on the other hand, are probably not going to sit in the chest because I like them too much, and I'm going to display them because they're really cool. And where's the stand? There we go. And there we go. Bring those in so we can see them a little bit better. And yeah, not too bad. It's like I said, a little bit more than I wanted to pay per ounce, but I really like the design. If you don't do it too often, it doesn't hurt the wallet too much. Alright guys, that's everything I got for you tonight. We're going on 20 minutes, which is a little bit longer than it takes to show off 2 copper rounds and talk about some brief history. So I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for joining me and sitting through this. I appreciate everyone's support. We are over 260 friendlies now. We are creeping up on that 300 mark. I will probably put out an update video on the giveaway around 275. That way all the new subscribers can be notified of it and have an opportunity to meander over, find the video, and comment on it. Also, don't forget, if you want to make a shout out video, there are shout out prizes specifically, and there are only like 3 or 4 shout out video entries, so the odds are pretty good. Alright, everybody, thank you again for everything, all your support, views, and everything. I wish you all a good night, and God bless.